Hi, everyone. Oh, no. Welcome to the podcast that I'm really regretting is video format today. I have hair for radio. Let's be honest. I have hair for radio. Welcome to But Did You Die with the Jet Sisters? I'm Angie Orth.
And I'm
sorry.
confused.
I'm sorry about my hair. I feel like every piece of content I've put out in the past week has been, I'm so sorry about my hair.
You're giving alfalfa right now. What happened to you? You look like a peacock.
I don't know. I'm so sorry, everyone. Here we are. Rachel, it's your turn to be beautiful this week. Sorry that we're butt ugly, everyone.
I thought I was putting effort in, so yikes. Happy first week of spring. The sun is shining. It is beautiful. The sun is up until 8:30. I love it. Hey, I'm really excited. And you've probably already noticed already, listener, that I sound so much better than I usually do. Got a new microphone. Thanks for that, sis.
How did it arrive to your house? Tell everyone what your big sis did for you.
By FedEx?
No. I mean,
on a magic carpet?
I don't know. I bought it and sent it to you, and it was a surprise.
It was. Well, I did ask you to do that, and then you did, but...
Okay. It was a surprise.
It was a surprise.
To me, so far, it still kind of sounds like you're in a bucket, but this is a work in progress. What is this, episode 12? We're figuring it out, you guys. And I think we're doing pretty well, considering we have no idea what's going on here.
You sound great all the time. I never sound good, so I hope this is a step up. Maybe it's the room. Maybe there's an echo in here. Whatever. We'll figure it out.
Whatever. So, yeah. Happy first week of spring. I think it's hilarious and very Florida, very on brand, that it's been like 90 degrees all these last weeks of winter. And the first day of spring, it was in the high 30s in the night. And I was freezing. Like, what is that? What kind of hilarious joke is that, Florida? Come on.
That's definitely a Florida thing. I don't think I told you this. Our air conditioning broke.
What?
And the second night it was broken, like when we realized it was the cold night. The one cold night, like hallelujah. And then someone came out and fixed it. So we're back to normal. But I am
better to
so
fix it now than midsummer.
So happy that it was not hard to do. All right. Let's talk travel news.
What you got for us this week, Ray?
I don't remember. What was it?
A pilot
shows up to fly the plane, goes through the security, has his uniform on, the badge, everything. He's got too much liquid in his bag, so they flag it, they take it. It's 2 bottles of Jaeger, and I think one is like half empty, and he was twice the legal alcohol limit for pilots. So he just got sentenced 10 months.
What is the legal limit for a pilot? I would hope it was not any.
Should be 0.
Yeah, we should be having no drinks, folks.
But I get it, Jaeger, you know? He's trying to get the party started.
Know.
He's trying to get the flight go. No?
I don't like any of this. So, yeah, okay. Flying is statistically safer than driving. And that's why you have 2 pilots. In case one of them gets rip-roaring wasted on Jaeger, the other one is probably all right.
Yeah, that's why.
That's why. Being a pilot is an incredibly stressful job. Like, we don't really see what they do or what goes on, but it seems like it would probably be a pretty stressful job. So maybe we'll have to have our friend Nick, the pilot, on someday to tell us about the stress of his job. He could be like our special guest. I bet he's not allowed to do that.
Oh, I would just die. I would just die.
This podcast where Rachel's constantly like, traveling sucks. I hate flying.
It's all in good fun. Hey, obviously, we're going to get on flights every chance we get.
Tomorrow. Literally, I got to go to Dallas tomorrow. So I hope Nick's my pilot. That would be so cool.
He will be here next week. So we could have him as a special guest. He will be in my house. All right. Well, the good news is there was no crazy travel news. So, in fact, I did find a drunken pilot story. So... no planes falling out of the sky this week. But let's jump into our topic of the week.
Destination of the week. You guys are going to like this one because we like this one. It's a fun one to talk about. Where are we going this week, Ray?
We are going to the Florida Keys.
I just love the Keys. And every time I go there, I say, why don't I come here more? It's like a 5-hour drive. Why do I not come here all the time?
Is it a
Yeah.
5-hour drive?
Well, it's like a 5-hour drive to the beginning of them. It's like an 8-hour drive to Key West. So
Yeah.
I want to say the beginning of the Keys and the end that you can drive is like a 3-hour kind of amazing road trip journey. But yeah, just to kind of get in the neighborhood, it's about 5 or 6 hours, which that's nothing.
I'm checking now. Oh, why does it say 3 days? That's walking. Okay. From Orlando to Key West, it's 7 hours.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Like, you're just down there in no time. Plus, you can fly. You can also fly straight to Key West. Like, I would recommend that if you're staying in Key West and not exploring the rest of the Keys, fly.
For those who don't know about where the Keys are, you see Florida, and then under Miami, there's a chain of islands, and those are the Florida Keys. There are how many keys?
Oh, there's a quiz with no answer key? I don't know. That's rude. I don't know how many keys there are. There's quite a lot.
There's at least 4.
There's at least like 400. There's so
Well,
many.
that I can name.
Oh, I could name so many.
Name them. Key West, Islamorada,
Marathon,
Marathon,
Duck Key. Yeah, Duck Key.
Ducky?
Big Pine Key.
Big Pine
Little
Key.
Big Pine Key.
Sure.
Deer Key. Largo. Key Largo. Fargo, Key Largo. Yes. Yeah, but that's just a few of them.
So and then they're all connected by one long road. So you leave Miami, you start at Marathon.
Sure.
That's the top of the key, and then you can drive all the way to Key West. And there's lots of things to do in all of these places. I think Key West is probably the most popular. But no, there's hotels, there's fishing charters, there's a couple beaches, spas, many things to do on the Keys. I think specifically we're going to talk a little bit about Key West today. So, first things first, how do we get there? If you're from Florida, you can drive.
I mean, if you're in Florida, just drive on down there, then you've got your vehicle to get around. If you're not from Florida, or if, say, you're from Jacksonville or the Panhandle, somewhere that it's more of a hike to get there, you can drive. I mean, you can take a pretty quick flight to Key West, and then you're just there. Once you're in Key West, you can walk, Uber. There's little trolleys that get you around. You can rent a bicycle or a scooter. So that's easy. But if you are going, trying to fit in all of the Keys in a trip, you're going to need wheels. Keep that in mind.
And you can also fly into the Miami airport. But then, yes, rent a car.
Then you need wheels. All right, so we made it to the Keys. What do people do when they get there?
What don't people do when they get to the Keys? We've been a couple times. This is not a crime.
That's a rhetorical question? Okay.
No. We've gone a couple times. One of my favorite things to do is the Fury excursion. Fury Water Sports. So it's this 65-foot catamaran that takes you jet skiing, snorkeling, parasailing, and then to an inflatable water park in the middle of the ocean. So you get on the boat, go to the middle of the ocean, and then just do all of your activities for a day. I freaking love that. That's my favorite thing because I love swimming and being in the water. That's my
favorite part was about the day with Fury is that Mom did in fact, our whole trip to the Keys, but that day specifically, Mom did so many things that she normally would be like, I'm not doing any of that. She went parasailing, she went jet skiing, and she was out there goofing around on the inflatable water park.
Goofing around. She almost drowned.
She did?
You remember? Remember she's just laughing at us at the water park and cannot swim because she's laughing so hard. You don't remember that?
I remember getting pulled up onto the thing and it almost ripping my
Oh yeah.
chestal region off. So I was still traumatized. But was mom like wearing a life jacket and just like floating away, but laughing so hard? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
But I
in
was
the
so
middle,
proud because she did all these things that she wouldn't normally do.
it was fun. I don't know if I will parasail again. I've seen too many videos now of people getting stuck under the water that I think I'm good. Um, but the inflatable stuff was so fun. It's
There's like
like rock
slides you can
climbing.
go down.
You jump off, and
Yeah.
that was great. So I really enjoy Fury.
And there's
Um,
food. Afterwards, there's like food and drink on there. There's lunch and stuff. It's a whole day out on the water. And we did that again, did we not? We did that for your bachelorette party?
we did not.
We
No,
almost did.
for a bachelorette, we did kayaking on one of the keys, or was it in Key West?
That was Key West.
Okay, yeah, we went kayaking. You can go stand up paddleboarding. We did the dolphin cruise. Do you remember that?
Yeah, the eco cruise where you go
Yes,
around and you look for the dolphins. Like you don't go to them, you don't feed them, you don't touch them, but they come up. Oh, that was amazing.
that was cool. We saw so many dolphins. Loved that. There are like food walking tours. So if you're a big foodie,
Oh
um,
yeah, remember we went to that Cuban restaurant? We got to try all this key lime pie and conch fritters. Oh, they have such good food in Key West.
yes, key lime pie, Key West go hand in hand.
That's where
Is
key
that
limes come from. I feel like people don't necessarily realize that, but that's where the key limes come from. That's why you can only get real key lime pie in the Keys. So you have to eat it everywhere you go, every time.
it's yeah, that's freaking amazing. You can visit Ernest Hemingway's house, where on the property are famous six-toed cats. There's just cats everywhere, and you can walk in, and that's pretty cool.
I don't know. If you've traveled a lot, you see a lot of signage and bars that's like Hemingway drank here, but it's even in places that he absolutely did not because it's just kind of the joke, you know? It's like Hemingway was everywhere. Hemingway really did live in the Keys and right there and fish, and he was the ultimate, you know, like manly man in the sea. So
That checks out.
if you if you're a Hemingway fan,
Robbie's on that one's not in Key West. That's on Islamorada.
hmm
Robbie's is super cool. It's like a restaurant, but also you can feed tarpon, and you hang over
tell
a
our
dock.
friends what a tarpon is.
It's a fish.
How big is
It's
the fish?
it's pretty big fish. You hang over a dock with fish, and you just put the fish over the water, and they come up and they like put your whole arm in their mouth. So that's fun. But that's a staple. If you're driving, especially if you fly into Miami or you're driving all the way through, you have to stop at Robbie's, get lunch, get a beer, feed the tarpon, and
You can
then keep
also
going.
kayak there. You can rent, I think, jet skis. They have all sorts of tours that go out of there. There's really good souvenir shopping in that little area. There's plenty of parking. The restaurant is called the Hungry Tarpon, and
Mhm.
the bar is the Thirsty Tarpon. So easy to remember, but there's a lot to do there. So that's a good spot, especially if you're coming, if you're driving down. That is a really good place to either stop for the night or stop for a few days on Islamorada on the way to Key West.
Mhm,
Oh,
mhm.
love it. Always stop there. It's so fun.
Um, there's Dante's. Do you not remember?
Ugh, I remember.
Which is great for bachelorette parties or bachelor parties, which is where we went to Key West for my bachelorette party. It was a lot of
That's
fun.
nice.
It's a
Yeah.
huge pool. It's just a big party. It's a giant pool. That's it, and a DJ. And there are 100 people in the water, and they're all on a bachelor or bachelorette party. That's that. Enjoy.
Or not. I
Yeah.
think they have food too. Don't they have
I
food?
don't. I don't remember.
They have food. Okay. So also in Key West, one of the big things is the sunset. Like that is the thing everybody does every day. So where should people go see the sunset?
On a boat. A boat's
On whose
good.
boat? Whose boat?
Mom's
How
boat.
and when?
I don't know. Find a boat, people. What am I, your travel
Go
guide?
look west and look at the sun, dummies. Okay, let
I
me
don't
take
know.
over. So there are two really good ways to see the sunset in Key West. I mean, maybe three ways. One is go outside and look at the sun.
Look at the sun.
Two, don't look directly at the sun. Come on, we've been over this. Two is go to Mallory Square, which is where they have all sorts of, what are they called? Buskers and vendors and performers and stuff. So people are like juggling and doing magic shows, but also that's the little western part of the island where everybody goes to watch the sunset. And then the third thing, which I highly recommend, is to do a sunset cruise because they have like.
Sorry. Hold on.
Your dog just flew.
Yeah.
Golly. Okay. The third thing I would recommend is a sunset cruise because you get a bit more space to yourself. You're on a catamaran or a sailboat or something, and there's food and there's cocktails and there's music, and so it's a little more chill than just being in the crowd of Mallory Square because that can get kind of crowded and noisy, which is fun too. I think do all of the things every night you're there. Go find somewhere to do it, but sunset is a huge deal in Key West.
We talked a little bit about food, but I do want to specifically mention the best steak I've ever had in my life. I ate this steak 10 years ago, and I still have the picture of it on my phone. It was so good. So if you're in Key West, you have to... Latitudes. You have to go to Latitudes. You have to take a boat to get there. It's on a little island.
Steak on an island where they have no cows.
I don't know why it's the best steak I've ever had.
I don't either. Because every time we've gone together, I haven't been able to go. Either we haven't had a reservation for the right time or they booked us in for brunch instead, which brunch was good too. But I've never had this magical steak, and I'm so nervous that I'm going to try it and it's not going to be that good.
I mean, it's been 10 years, so anything could happen.
Other places in Key West that you absolutely have to eat. At the Perry Hotel, which is where we stayed for Rachel's bachelorette party. It's just on the other, just off of Key West, but they have a free shuttle that takes you in and out as much as you want. But they have Matt's Stock Island Kitchen and Bar. And I know Rachel's not a huge seafood eater, so any seafoody place is kind of lost on her. But we were extremely pumped about, they bring you this tackle box full of seafood. And it's just beautiful. It's just brimming with like shrimp and oysters and so many yummy things. So, crab claws, stone crab claws. Do you know what a delicacy that is? Anyway, sorry.
Do you remember? I'm having a memory flashback when the whole family went. Ben didn't go, which was sad, but it was the series finale of Game of Thrones, and no one in our family watched it but us. And we made everyone stop what they were doing. We stayed in. We made everyone watch the last episode, which was so disappointing.
And the whole time, our brother is going, "This sucks." They're like, "This is dumb," and we're like, "Oh, you don't understand. You don't understand what we've been through." And we're like, "No, it's fine. It's fine." I do.
He was right.
That.
He was right. It did suck. Anyway, back to the Keys. That's just the core memory now. Every time I think of the Keys, I'm thinking of Game of Thrones. A and B, Lobster House.
That was delicious.
I remember y'all freaking out about lobster.
That was delicious. Yeah, there's a lot of good food in Key West, and obviously seafood is huge because it's fresh, but you can also get cow flown in if you need it.
There's cows. There are cows. Look for a cow. I could find a cow right now if I really wanted to.
On Key West, you could find a cow?
Maybe.
That's what I'm talking about. I don't think so, bro.
If you can drive to the Keys, you can bring a cow.
I didn't say bring your own cow. I said there's a cow on Key West living there that you could eat. Yeah, right. I don't believe you.
You don't know about agriculture?
Here's what we're going to do. We are going to consult with our friends at the Key West Visitors Bureau and find out if there are any cows in town.
I'm doing it right now. Farm.
Okay. There's not a farm on Key West.
There's a plant store.
Grass. There's not really a lot of grass, and there's not really a lot of beaches. That's another thing people don't necessarily know about the Keys
That was what I wanted to talk about next.
Okay.
You're thinking tropical destination, Florida beaches. The Keys, yes, not really known for beaches. If you're looking for a beach, you're gonna struggle. This is more get on a boat, go swimming, do an activity, explore. But beaches, I don't think I've ever been to a beach in the Keys.
Sure, there are beaches. There are a few. They exist. It's just not necessarily like if you've never been there, you might have it in your mind that they're just these beach ringed islands, and that's not really true. It's mostly like limestone and so yeah, a lot of water-based activities that you would want to do. You should get on a boat first and then hop off that boat. But there are definitely a couple of places that have beaches. And like when we stayed at Hawks Cay, they have this sandy lagoon. So it's not a beach per se, but it's enough of a beach. And you can stand up paddleboard there, and there's the pool, and there's a quiet pool, and, you know, all the things, all the creature comforts. I think Chica Lodge also has a pretty decent beach.
You are right. I'm remembering staying there, and there was a beach. Also, a bathtub that had the water coming from the ceiling. That was great.
Magical. You know
That was,
who's at Chica Lodge right now? Aunt
who?
Ev.
Aw.
Rick's aunt and uncle. Yeah. I told them about Chica Lodge like 1,000 years ago, and now they go like once a year, which I love that. I love that journey for them. I had one of my favorite massages ever at Chica Lodge, and it was a tiger shell massage, and they filled it with some kind of hot something and then massage you with these like smooth shells. Transcendent. Another level. I would go do. Look, I could get in a car and be there in 6 hours. Why
I'm,
am I here?
I'm kind of
Why am
thinking
I
about
here?
it. The Keys also near three national parks. First one, you're
Yes.
near the Everglades. The second one, I always forget what it's called. Don't tell me.
I don't know.
It's the one that you have to either take the ferry a couple hours or you can take a seaplane,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
which I took the seaplane years ago.
Dried Tortugas.
Dang it, I told you not to tell me.
Oh,
Yeah.
I missed that part.
Well, yeah, the Dry Tortugas National Park, super cool. It's an old fort, obviously. It's a fort in the middle of the ocean, and you can camp there overnight, and that is on my bucket list.
You keep saying the ocean. It's not the ocean. It's the sea. I just had to say that. It's not like the Atlantic Ocean. I know what you're saying, like figuratively, it's like the ocean, but it's the sea. The
It's the
ocean
same.
sounds scary and deep. The Caribbean Sea, the the Gulf of Mexico, that's just like more friendly. I'm just saying.
That's the same thing. The sea and the ocean are the same thing.
Is the Caribbean Sea the same thing as the Atlantic Ocean?
I can get there. I can swim to one or the other.
I, I know you think you can swim really far, but you can't.
It's all connected. It's the ocean.
So you're just like you're in a body of water. It doesn't
Well,
matter.
if I'm in a lake, that's not the ocean. You got to think here, pal.
If you're in the Gulf of Mexico, that's not the ocean.
That's just
the
what it's
Gulf.
called. Also
Right,
the
because
ocean.
that's what it is.
It just happens to have that name.
Because it's the Gulf.
You're being dumb.
You're being obtuse.
Well, your
Anyway.
mother. Anyway, yeah. So the Dry Tortugas National Park's in the sea.
There you go, buddy. The sea
Grow
is so
up.
beautiful.
So yeah, lots to do, lots to eat. If you're looking for places to stay, we'll put some recommendations in the show notes. Ange has lists.
I think we could probably tell folks about the best time to visit because as Floridians, I don't personally take hurricane season into account when planning my travels because it's just part of life when you're growing up in Florida or on the ocean of the Gulf of Mexico or whatever you want to call it.
Grow up.
You grew up. Hurricane season is May to November-ish, and that keeps a lot of people. Oh no! Oh, it's
May?
not? Okay.
Doesn't it start in like August?
Hurricane season? What state are you from? It literally starts in May.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, look it up.
There's never been a hurricane in May.
I'm so glad you're so prepared for this. Who is the meteorologist of this family?
You're a liar.
Okay, look it up.
Okay, you continue. I'm
Add
going
to
to
your,
Google.
add it to your list of things you have to fact check that I'm right about. So, hurricane season is the whole summer and part of fall. Well,
June
June what?
1st.
Yeah, exactly. Basically May. So, and you're probably lying anyway.
No, it's June. Well, it says the worst month is August, September, October. That is hurricane
That's
season.
true. Okay, but that's hurricane season in your heart. Hurricane season in science is a lot longer than that. Okay? It has a lot to do with science, Rach. I'm not going to get into it right now, but there's a lot to do with the way the earth is tilted and the sun and
Shut
gravity.
up. Shut up. Listen, if you want to go to the Keys in May, that's a great idea.
Go.
Don't
If you want to go
come
to
to
the
the
Keys,
hurricanes.
if you want to go to the Keys in August, go for it. But what do I say every episode? What do I say every episode? Travel insurance is your friend, because that will get you out of paying for a hotel. That will get you, won't have to deal with a whole bunch of baloney. It will all be handled if there is a natural disaster. So don't go anywhere without your travel insurance, especially not during hurricane season. You can always leave if a hurricane is coming. That's the fun thing about hurricanes as a natural disaster, is you have some warning usually that they're coming and you can just leave, versus like earthquakes. You're just
Okay,
out of luck.
you've turned a corner. When is the best time to visit the Keys?
Anytime. September 7th tends to be great in our family for hurricanes. Winter is lovely. Winter
Yeah.
is usually really temperate, but again, high season is always going to be the most expensive.
Mm-hmm. And the hottest.
And it can be very hot. It usually depends. A lot of times it's hotter on mainland Florida than it is in the Keys, because you get these amazing breezes. So it's like anything, it's kind of a crapshoot. But
Go whenever. It's fine.
Listen, that's pretty much my advice for everything. Just go and see what happens. Oh my
Good
gosh, is this why I keep finding myself in problems?
All right. Well, it wouldn't be But Did You Die with the Jet Sisters if we didn't talk about the thing that almost killed us.
So, what was your disaster on our Keys trip? And I'm picking the family Keys trip, but I guess it could be family, it could be bachelorette party, it could be that press trip you went on, and I don't know if you've been any other times.
Well, here's an overlapping one. The family trip and the press trip, the same thing happened to me. I got heat stroke so bad that I had to stay in the hotel and not do anything. So on the family trip, I missed the deep sea fishing because I was toast.
Which I still am not totally convinced. Sometimes Rachel gets sick when there's family events to do, like Christmas.
Okay, that's stupid, and you're stupid. And then the press trip, we rode bikes down the 7 Mile Bridge.
Oh
Yeah, which is another activity. And it was hot. And that night I was like, well, I'm done. So heat stroke, almost died 2 times. So don't do that. That was my disaster, which will lead me into drink a lot of water. Super important. Wear sunscreen.
Just so you guys know, as a point of reference, when everyone visits Florida, we know you're not from here because it's Monday, so you've been here a day or two, and you are the color of like the rental sport vehicles. It's not good for your skin. You can't wear too much sunscreen. Please.
You will get sun poisoning the first day and then have to
Ruin
stay
your whole
inside.
time. Yeah, and take it easy on the booze, because little known fact, there's something about the science of the Florida Keys that makes you think you're not drinking as much as you are. So, be cool.
I don't know. That's not my travel tip. Okay. My travel tip is drink more Jaeger.
Unless you're the pilot.
All right.
He was just going to the Keys. That's all. He was just
exactly
prepping for
he was
a layover
gaming.
the Keys.
All right, sis. What are you doing this weekend?
I'm going to the Dallas Travel Show with Traveling with AAA, my other podcast. And I'm going to be doing some interviews and I'm going to be talking to some people and making some content for the AAA team and hanging out with friends and hopefully seeing people and signing some books. So come see
Fun.
me if you're in Dallas. Oh, well, you won't because this doesn't come out till I'm gone.
I am going to Daytona Beach because several years ago I bought Ben for Valentine's Day a tiki cruise, like a tiki sunset cruise, and it got postponed. Fast forward 4 years later, and we are finally doing it this weekend.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it'll
That's
be
going
cool.
to be fun.
Yeah,
Are you staying overnight or just going home?
we are. So yeah, sunset cruise. We'll do that. That's a couple hours, and then we're staying at the Hard Rock Hotel.
Get out of here. That looks so nice.
I'm very excited.
What
So
are you
look
doing with the
for
dogs?
hopefully giving them to Janice. I have not asked her yet, but thanks, Janice, for taking the dogs. Probably. Yeah, it'll be fun. So look for a video on Off Day Adventures for that mini staycation.
That's fun. You guys are going to have a blast. That's all the time we have for today. So, thank you for tuning in, everyone, to But Did You Die with the Jet Sisters. We'll be back next week with another episode.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
What's wrong with you?